Exterior, QUINN Farms, late afternoon. Establishing shot. An abnormally hot, dry day punishes fields of QUINN Farms. Bugs chatter and hover as the scathing afternoon sun swelters and burns. Far off in a corner, a young man, white clothes painted mauve and torn, grunts as he pushes a plow. CASSEY, male, 17, thin, shaggy hair, wipes his brow between feverish exertions, clearing the mud from his eyes as best he can. Behind him, 2 horses, long past their prime, buckle their knees as their hooves struggle to keep their footing. It's no use. The ground is too solid. Frustrated, CASSEY looks at the road leading out, away from QUINN Farms. CASSEY turns to face the farmhouse. Insert. Several other farmers watch CASSEY fight his useless battle from safe cover, drinking mead from Stein-esque vessels of relief from backbreaking work. They stare back. CASSEY averts their gaze, his eyes searching the sky, dead inside. Raindrops start to fall, their cold touch pushing life back into CASSEY, relief from the heat washing over him. Insert. A farmer on the porch says,
"First rain of the season."
"Come on, CASSEY, you're going to regret being the last one in when those plows get stuck."
Right on cue, the water droplets intensify, and CASSEY soaks in the moment until, sound effect, spluck. The plow sinks sharply. CASSEY opens his eyes and jolts the reins. One of the horses bucks hard enough to throw CASSEY to the ground, face first between the horses. He lifts his head and spits mud out of his mouth. The farmers, now collecting themselves under the shelter of the farmhouse, laugh. CASSEY's heart fills with anger. He stands and readies the horses.
Come on! Come on!
The reins yank, throwing CASSEY harder into the dirt.
"You breaking the plow again, boy? Maybe you'll finally toughen up if you gotta plow those fields without the horses."
CASSEY looks up and tries to kick right where the plow broke ground. Insert. His bare foot hits something quite hard.
Ouch!
He falls on his duff and cradles his foot, until the glimmer of something reflective catches his eye. The fog continues to intensify, shielding his movements from view.
Stay. Stay.
CASSEY begins pulling dirt up with his hands until he breaks the reflective object free from the earth. Gravestones. Shards of rock socketed with tarnished stones cause CASSEY's face to bevel and warp in their reflection. The words scribbled across and carved within the rock make no sense. Moments later, CASSEY has put together a nice stack of them. He pulls hard to bring up the last one, when it comes with a chain, an enormous chain link. Larger letters of the unknown language stretch across the chain links. CASSEY pulls them all out of the ground, realizing that it's an interconnected chain. The big link slips in CASSEY's hand, wet from the rain and mud, and falls up his arm, knocking onto his shoulder. Wincing in pain, he lifts the chain link over his head and drops it again, this time causing the chain link to fall to the ground, around his torso, past his legs, and around his feet. CASSEY taps his tummy, exposing his emaciated figure, and then steps from one chain link to another. Insert. One of the links bears a peculiar arrangement of letters, which causes CASSEY to furrow his brow.
"Hey, hey!"
Cut 2. Act 1. Interior, house, bedroom, early morning. An old woman shakes her husband, an old man easily in his late 80s. Several candles flicker wildly as sharp winds whip in from the open window.
"Hey,
The old man awakens.
there's someone."
The old man's eyes go wide. Exterior, house, minutes later. Wielding a shovel like a weapon, the old man walks with timid steps as the old woman pushes him from behind, pointing ahead. Sound effect, stifled cries. A child's voice eerily dies against the wind. Insert. The two approach a ditch, but find nothing. Cut 2. Exterior cave entrance, mountainside, night. A cohort of iron armor-wearing military men clang their boots as they march beneath the dark, overhanging canopy of the mountain's stony side towards the entrance of a cave. Rain pours heavily just outside the canopy. Their torches waver and illuminate the rocky stalactites and stalagmites. Inside the cave, the cohort comes to a stop at the raised hand of a front-leading officer. The two men in front remove their masks, revealing themselves to be Edric and Tristan, their eyes darting around, taking in the cave.
Stay back.
Edric and Tristan proceed deeper into the cave. Sound effect, stifled cries.
Captain Edric.
Edric and Tristan increase their step and rush over to a soldier fallen the cave wall. Edric snatches a torch from another soldier and holds it up to the fallen man. He raises a trembling hand and points to an area just beyond them. Edric walks with trepidation and raises the torch to reveal a pile of mud, skin, and chains. The translucent skinned bodies coiled within them are covered in feces and blood. The soldiers gasp in shock. Exterior, house, early morning. The old man and old woman approach their front door and see muddy tracks heading inside. Inside, the muddy tracks run up the steps. Sound effect, stifled cries. Much clearer now, the cries of a young child startled the old man and old woman. Moments later, they enter their bedroom and see something squirming under their own bedsheets. The old man raises the shovel to strike it, but the old woman grabs the handle. He hands her the shovel and then rips the sheets off, revealing a malnourished child covered in dirt and completely bare. A 5-year-old with translucent skin and large pupils. Interior, deep cave, night. Moments later, the other military men pool in, horrified at the sight of over 100 bodies chained together against the rocky walls deep within the cave. In the center of the room, a young girl and her mother are chained together. A child's voice, same as before, now augmented by the shrill cave acoustics, causes the hair on the back of their necks to stand up. Insert the malnourished child who now has muddy clothes crusted to her skin, with a massive chain gripped around her small body. Sound effect, murmurs.
Free these slaves. Free them all.
Sir, they're not.
So you want them to stay that way? Just do what I say. This could be us if we don't hurry.
Edric approaches a young girl and manages to pull her free from her chain link around her waist. A chain link just like the one CASSEY found. Her body so emaciated that her ribs and organs are visible.
Okay, careful now. Just grab on. Okay.
The girl turns in Edric's arms, reaching for her mother next to her, who is clearly not responsive. Across the cave, Tristan readies his sword and attempts to slice one of the malnourished prisoners free.
Now, be still.
But the moment the blade strikes the chain link, the sword cracks. Tristan mutters under his breath while a commotion picks up behind him. He turns to quiet the troops, but only sees a torch lying on the ground further into the cave. He notices what looks like blood seeping beside the torch, as it suddenly goes out.
Captain! Captain!
Suddenly, the glow from the torches starts to snuff out, one by one, while the soldiers disappear beneath the darkness with muffled cries. The walls of the cave turning black as a giant shadow overcomes the soldiers holding the torches. Insert, Edric pulling the girl away from the chain, hugs her.
It's all right. It's all right.
Sound effect, screams. A vicious slaughter begins, a tide of crimson gushing forth and running along the ground. Tristan rushes now and tries to desperately pull the victim free from the chain, but it's no use. Edric grabs him by the collar.
Leave him.
With the girl over Edric's shoulder, the two rush towards the front, and then along the wall, as the shape of whatever grisly force is dismembering the military men, who cast shadows of death and splatters of red against the rock. Insert. Tristan is stopped by Edric, who places the girl into his arms, not far from the front of the deep cave entrance. The torches snuff out, one by one, until the cave is pitch black.
Get out of here now!
As the last torch goes out, Tristan hesitates before rushing towards the entrance. He glances back to catch sight of Edric, only to trip and drop the girl. He panics as he tries to find her. An illuminated torch enters the frame, showing Edric's face and Tristan's defeated look.
Don't lose hope.
Edric turns to face the remnants of his once great army, now scattered throughout the blood-stained cave. He lifts his torch high, drawing attention to all.
God of MORN, God of darkness, hear my prayer. We mean no harm. Your secrets are yours to keep. Spare us our lives, and we will never return.
Edric takes one last wide-eyed look at the carnage before fleeing. The beast moves with surgical precision, while remaining out of sight from everyone's view, obliterating the men one by one. Tristan feels a cold hand lay softly upon his face, and he is shocked to find the girl's calm eyes staring into his own. With the malnourished child back in his arms, Tristan starts to run towards a speck of light in the distance, slicing his sword through the air in fear as he flees. Insert, looking back over his shoulder, Tristan pauses as he catches his first sight at the beast. A sharp glimpse of only the creature's eyes, which glow like a serpent's. The eyes hover above a pool of blood and Edric's lifeless body, illuminated by the last torch. Tristan turns back to see the small light of the cave opening, but moments later Tristan trips and falls into another group of chained slaves. They begin pulling him in. Out of desertion, he slices at them, calling out for them to free him, while behind, the serpent eyes draw near. The screams of the military men swell to a blistering level, and then die. Hold on black. Super. MORN. Cut 2. Interior vibrant garden. Day. Water droplets flirt with the summer air and fly from their petal-laden beds to dance through the air. Insert. A man dressed in rags sits upon a stone and drags a quill across a small piece of parchment on his lap, tracing every detail he can of the Monet-esque landscape before him. Insert. Farmers mill through crops, their hands making ballet, each joint moving in harmony with its mirror joint on the other hand, peeling and organizing the harvest. Insert. An old woman boils water in a cauldron over a fire. Interior, Old Man Asher's quarters. Same. Old Man Asher, male, 60s, white beard, bald, stocky, sits in a rocking chair, gently moving back and forth. His smoking pipe lets wisps of gray ether waft through the air, his eyelids drooping, pushing further and further down as he slowly falls asleep. But the moment he drifts... Insert. CASSEY kicks Old Man Asher's door open, grunting as he dumps fragments of gravestone all over the plates and utensils set for supper. Old Man Asher jolts awake, rocking his chair back and falling out of the slumber chariot, his pipe falling and threatening to turn his beard ablaze.
Old Man Asher.
You insolent bagger-hound scallywhistle shovel-shover! You nearly burned my beard right off!
Look!
CASSEY tosses a fist-sized section towards Old Man Asher, with a loud crack and thud as it hits the floor.
Hey, what in the world?
Old Man Asher sees the symbols etched deep in stone, and his words fall flat.
This was out on the north field. Horses nearly broke my neck, and I found them. I also found a massive chain deep in the ground. Master Quinn and the others are helping me dig it out.
Old Man Asher stands over the pieces, his mouth agape, his eyes wide, and his mind in a stupor. He looks out the door CASSEY came in.
You're going to let me splinter your smoking pipe into pieces? Awesome. Can't wait. Old Man Asher?
Incensed, Old Man Asher bolts for the door. Exterior, QUINN Farms fields, moments later. Old Man Asher runs up to where the other farmers are busy pulling up the rest of the chains.
No.
CASSEY stands within one of the chains.
What are these?
My boy, these are...
CASSEY reaches down and pulls up one of the chains to his waist.
Why are they so big?
Old Man Asher steps forward and puts his hands on the other end of the heavy chain link being lifted by multiple tired, mud-soaked farmers who have worked hard to free the chain from the ground.
Because they weren't for someone like...
A barn big enough for door chains this big would be 500 shovels tall.
Get out of the chain, boy.
CASSEY slips out.
Cassie, help us, Stag Nabbit.
Old Man Asher drags the palm of his hand across the chain link.
Sheridan.
Share what?
Old Man Asher's eyes widen as an internal pain overcomes him. He drops the chain link, which rattles and splashes upon the muddy field, sending CASSEY jumping into the air. The tired, mud-soaked farmers now watch their hard work sink slowly back into the mud.
What was that?
Old Man Asher takes a step back to stand beside the circled farmers and addresses his fallen pipe, delicately putting new carcinogenic fuel into its bowl, turning his fingers black. CASSEY touches the ornate carvings upon the chain link with his toes. Old Man Asher seems lost in thought, pondering something deeply.
This is unlike anything you've seen. With good reason. Now, I said Saradin.
What's a Saradin?
Suddenly a smirk comes over Old Man Asher's face.
It means lost parchment and ink doesn't erase the words from history. Not that anyone from Miles would know the depth of those words.
Old Man Asher makes eye contact with Master QUINN, who nods. CASSEY gives a funny look, and then pulls chain link around his waist again.
I'm getting back in the chain.
Stop it.
The chain drops again, in tandem with Old Man Asher smacking his wooden blinds open, allowing bright sunlight to pour in.
Look.
CASSEY joins Old Man Asher at the window.
You know what all these people are born with?
Bad teeth?
Old Man Asher smacks CASSEY in the back. Music, a foreboding, climbing ambience, begins to swell.
No. They're blinded. They can't see a darn thing that's come before them. Because you're right. 500 shovel-high things did exist. Gods. Now they're gone.
CASSEY watches in shock.
But many couldn't find the source of their power. But the Saradin knew. For their power came from their words. Their ancient language was a weapon able to leave the strongest men crippled or mentally barren, with the War of the Gods closing the book of such words before they could be used again.
The music starts to climax.
Everyone awakening from the fog of war enslaved. Warriors and soldiers and guardians dismembered, their blood drained into...
CASSEY starts laughing. The large group of farmers who had gathered to listen almost fall backward in surprise at CASSEY's abrupt laughter, while Old Man Asher stares with shock.
Wow. You've switched back to the good stuff, huh?
Respect your elders. Perhaps your brother...
Old Man Asher is cut off before he can utter the word brother, which ensnares CASSEY's attention. Both are derailed by end of Act 1. Act 2. Exterior, QUINN Farms, Northfield, minutes later. Sound effect, whistle bell. Master QUINN, Old Man Asher, CASSEY, and all the farmers turn from the chain to see a caravan pulling up to the outskirts of the farm. CASSEY makes his way to the front of a crowd of farmers, just as a pair of hands reach out, grab him by the shoulders, and toss him out in front of the crowd.
Ouch!
CASSEY looks up and sees a stern Master QUINN, female, 50s, staring down at him, her long black hat silhouetting her face and casting a shadow over CASSEY.
Greet 'em. See what they want, but make them come around the back, away from the fields.
CASSEY can't believe he has to leave while everyone remains to listen to Old Man Asher's stories. But Master QUINN's glare causes CASSEY to begin running towards the caravan.
Not a single body on the fields, CASSEY.
What do you want me to tell them?
Master QUINN shrugs her shoulders without looking back. Moments later, CASSEY approaches the rather large caravan of well-dressed soldiers by himself. He peers over his shoulder and sees the group still watching him, at a distance. Their arms are crossed, their faces grimacing ear to ear, their clothes tattered and torn, like a tapestry of criminals. Because they are criminals. One of them throws a smug wave. CASSEY sees the door to the carriage part of the caravan, about 2 meters off the ground. He reaches, but can't reach high enough to knock.
Anyone have a...
A large wooden pole with a hammer mallet on the end lands next to CASSEY, thrown by someone from within the group.
Thank you.
CASSEY takes the tool and gently knocks on the door, which immediately opens. A royal soldier in full regalia pops out, towering over CASSEY.
Take us to your owner.
Hello, sir.
Owner.
Sir, my name is...
Is it owner?
No.
Then come back with the owner.
The royal soldier slams the door shut. CASSEY sighs and knocks again. The door opens.
Sir, we have come for... Boy, we have whips of our own twice as sharp as your owner's.
Sir, I can take you to...
You will take all of us.
All of? How many of you are...
The royal soldiers almost comically spill out, their boots crunching on the ground, creating a stampede like a bunch of frantic gazelles. They start marching towards the main farmhouse, to Master QUINN's quarters. The group of farmers turns from grisly to fearful, and part ways as the royal soldiers traipse through. CASSEY runs up to the leader.
Sir, please, I can take you and help parlay anything you want.
The royal soldier places his hand on the hand of his sheathed sword, and unsheaths it enough to smack CASSEY with it.
I'm sorry, sir. I just want to...
The royal soldier makes the same move again, but CASSEY is quick enough to dodge it. This causes the whole group to halt.
Boy, you are moments away from arriving with us as a head on a stick.
CASSEY stands up straight.
Sorry, sir.
Exterior, QUINN Farms, Northfield, moments later. CASSEY can feel Master Quinn's stare as the soldiers unmount and begin marching towards the farmers in the field. Master Quinn now stands at the front, flanked by farmers. She looks up, sees CASSEY's dumb grin surrounded by soldiers, anchoring on a threatening glare right at CASSEY.
Sirs, how can I assist you?
You, farmer, are to speak to me.
Captain Drake, male, 50s, strong build, masterful beard, steps forward from the back of the crowd, the medals and flair adorning his regalia jingling like clanging ornaments in the wind.
We seek presents with all of your farmers. We will also need water for our horses immediately. Are you the one in charge?
Master Quinn deadpans, and then relents. A moment hangs.
Very good. Now,
Did my farmhand hear Miss speak when he spoke earlier?
Captain Drake turns to CASSEY with disgust, then turns back to Master Quinn.
we were to be brought to your presence with haste.
And with waste. The kitchen's closed.
I have not traveled across the entire Southlands for your kitchen. The gruel you lap is not for royal tongues.
A bunch of royal guards sharing loincloths and rags on sticks. We don't want your tongues touching our kitchen.
Don't try my patience.
You're not going to deny that?
Captain Drake takes out his sword and points it in Master Quinn's direction.
We seek a presence with your farmers now. We have come to pay respects to the family of our prior captain, Sir Captain Edric.
Master Quinn steps forward unchallenged by the sword, while CASSEY loses his breath after hearing a name which brings so many long-forgotten emotions.
Look, you stand on the edge of the Brune docks and far from your king's land. You have no authority here, so why don't you just tell me the deal and we'll be done, okay?
Captain Drake shouts.
Ha! She's a confident one, eh?
A royal guard rushes forward, drawing his sword and swinging it towards Master Quinn's head. The farmers and royal guards are at odds as a battle commences. It's clear that Master Quinn and her cohorts are adept.
Enough of this. Back off, back off.
Give him space.
We are here to pay our respects to the lost life of Captain Edric.
Insert. Old Man Asher reacts.
Limp tails. You know, if you send a letter first next time, you can avoid a lot of hassle.
Master Quinn turns to CASSEY, motioning for him to come to the front.
You, what's your name, boy?
Cassius, son of Doran.
Captain Drake pauses and then clears his throat. Cut to exterior QUINN Farms, Northfield, minutes later. Insert. A heavy chest is dropped down on the ground with a chaotic clamor, and CASSEY leaps back, terrified.
One pair iron boots, one pair iron gloves.
Royal soldiers open the chest and start spilling the contents into the dirt.
One iron body holder, one pair of iron leg holders, 2 iron arm holders, 1 iron head holder.
Captain Drake inspects CASSEY's thin physique.
Don't go near water. Books of parchment and a sleeping dagger.
Captain Drake looks at the rest of the group.
Though I'm sure you already have one.
Sir, what happened to my brother?
If you would like to know more, I compel you to come to the King of Greendale's court.
Tuck it.
Master Quinn elbows farmer number 3 in the side. Captain Drake procures a small parcel embossed with a wax seal.
Henceforth you will be welcome.
Well, thanks, I guess. But do you know what happened to him? You've got his stuff? Does it have to do with it?
CASSEY.
Insert. Master Quinn reacts, turning to her men, then averting her gaze to conceal her suspicion.
Oh,
Captain Drake, obviously putting on an act, gets down on one knee, a soldier rushing forward to place his hand down under Captain Drake's knee as to prevent the cloth of his clothes from touching the dirt, and addresses CASSEY.
And how could I forget? For your trouble.
Pulling a hefty bag out of a satchel.
Shillings.
Are these even used anymore?
In some places, yeah.
That's it!
CASSEY reaches out, grabs the sleeping dagger, moves to strike with it, to which, in slow motion, royal guards lurch. Master Quinn yells, "No!" and the farmers watch on in horror, as CASSEY slashes the parcel open, and the shillings fall to the dirt. Everyone stops. The shock deafens the guard's movement. CASSEY grabs Master Quinn by the collar and shakes her.
You're gonna tell me what happened to my brother. You hear me? You're gonna tell me about my brother right now, and everyone's gonna just stand right where they are while you say it. Got it?
Captain Drake looks over his shoulder, his eyes stressed. Help me.
They're not gonna help you. I don't want your stupid limb holders or your shillings. You better listen to me or your brother's gonna want to know what happened to you when they get back.
CASSEY lets go of Captain Drake, and he falls back. Insert. Master Quinn reacts with a smirk. Old Man Asher reacts with shock. All the farmers start to laugh. Captain Drake sees a small shine radiate from an efficacy of ancient origin, and without causing a stir, rises to his feet.
Well, boy, it appears you are of no help to me, and I will be of no help to you. Good day.
Captain Drake and the other royal soldiers take swift magnetic movement, hastily getting in their caravan and racing off. All the farmers huddle around CASSEY, celebrating his cojones. But CASSEY is left emotionally void and silent. Act 3. Interior Ruckus House, later. Everyone parties and gets drunk. Steins slosh and break as the wild rumpus starts. CASSEY sits by himself, staring off into the distance.
I know it hurts, CASSEY.
Old Man Asher sits down and hands CASSEY a beer, which he refuses.
Go away. I don't want to be bothered right now.
You're in the Ruckus House. An odd place to be if you don't want to be.
Fine. I'll leave.
CASSEY's arm is grabbed by two sets of hands, and CASSEY is hoisted up into the air above the crowd. He surfs atop the room, hand after hand tossing him about. Someone shoves the iron head holder onto his head, backwards, forcing CASSEY to turn it around.
Please stop. Put me down.
Everyone stamps their feet in unison as they yell.
CASSEY, CASSEY, CASSEY.
Insert. The doors to the Ruckus House are blown open with an even louder clamor, and Captain Drake steps forward, surrounded by a troop of fully armed soldiers.
All right, you lot of dirty, backstabbing, motherless hooligans. If you got the artifacts, you better turn him over now.
CASSEY is dropped to the floor right at Captain Drake's feet. Everyone else goes silent. CASSEY fixes his head holder so it fits right, and faces forward, revealing Captain Drake and his men.
What about the artifacts? Oh.
Insert. Old Man Asher reacts.
Oh, CASSEY, you little dolt.
Both sides rush at each other, everyone screaming as they enter the fray of the fight. CASSEY scrambles to his feet to not be trampled. As he runs through the crowd to the side of the room, he's repeatedly clunked in the head by flailing arms and fists.
Oh, not bad.
Insert. Many farmers flee to the back kitchen, where they open drawers and cupboards to reveal efficacies of battle, hacked and fragmented together, farmer style. A pitchfork affixed to a sledgehammer, a leather coat covered in saws, boots equipped with knives sticking out of the toes, a hat with a scythe affixed to the top for malicious pecking. In no time, it's clear that the kitchen is more of a weapons facility.
How long has all this been here?
Back in the Ruckus House, Old Man Asher swings his walking stick right into someone's eye, who squeals in agony.
Hey, you still got a good one.
The royal soldiers go to town, hacking at the farmers, who take the hits, shed blood without showing any fear of pain, and flog the soldiers.
What are you, a god?
No, drunk.
Farmer number 4 balls up a fist and opens his mouth with glee, showing that he has 2 teeth.
And looking at a picture of me.
No, 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 no!
Farmer number 4 causes a mighty dental bill and throws the soldier's body over his shoulders. Insert, the soldier lands on top of CASSEY, who is knocked to the ground, but saved by his helmet. He's passed by the other farmers, now wearing their death-by-any-means-necessary regalia. In the center of the room, 3 farmers step forward and take a stance. Twig, male, 20s, very smart, short, gaunt, adrenaline-fueled, wants to be the most powerful criminal ever. Brack, male, early 30s, aloof, fighting savant, criminal history almanac, obsessed with leaving crime for family life. And farmer number 5. Twig dons the scythe hat, while Brack wears the saw-spinning jacket.
Get your swords drawn and ready, you silver spoon slime, because we 3...
Insert, a sword plunges into farmer number 5, who falls down and bleeds out instantly.
We 2 farmers are enough to take all yon. Ain't that right, Brack?
And I'm Brack.
You heard him.
Brack begins to spin like a cyclone, the saws tacked to his sides acting like horizontal guillotines against the unexperienced soldiers. Twig leaps from soldier to soldier, landing on their shoulders and stabbing them like a woodpecker.
Peck, 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 peck.
Insert, CASSEY watches in awe. The farmers rage and fight with all their might, but the soldiers are many in number. Elsewhere, exterior, QUINN Farms, fields, same. Night shrouds the fields. Old Man Asher and Master QUINN scamper over towards where the artifacts have been hidden.
We gotta take any of them which have legible writing on them. Let them sort out the rest.
I still say destroy them.
No, Master QUINN, I beg you.
Old Man Asher stops their stride and turns Master QUINN to face her.
We can't do that.
Bury him in a lake, I don't care.
Won't make a difference. More'll come. We must make it look like we don't have any ones that...
Look, Asher, I totally appreciate the whole wise man side of the road shtick most of the time, but...
They turn, seeing the amber light of torches up ahead of them. Old Man Asher readies his staff.
Right now you need a Ballantyne.
Captain Drake and 3 soldiers step forward, pausing their snatching of the artifacts.
Master QUINN, so good to finally get you one-on-one.
Well, nothing escapes you.
Yes, I'm sure the frail white beard counts in some places.
Captain Drake draws a sword. Master QUINN draws her own.
I'll take the other 3. You focus on one throat.
Captain Drake nods to the other soldiers.
Make sure we have to dig your grave before we leave, would you?
We have to destroy them. They're leading us to ruin.
What has always been around us will always be around us.
They're just artifacts.
Not quite. Now brace yourself.
The soldiers charge at Old Man Asher, leaving Master QUINN to fight one-on-one. They clash and fight with precision. Old Man Asher handles the other 3 as best he can.
You've had training.
So have you, being the king's tramp.
Captain Drake sees an opening and kicks Master QUINN.
It has its perks.
Master QUINN fights with fury.
You're a bottom feeder in shiny iron, nothing more.
Insert, Old Man Asher struggles against the other 3.
QUINN, more slashing.
Captain Drake laughs.
I want you to tell me where he is.
Who?
Insert, Old Man Asher reacts, reaching a crossroads.
Oh, dear. I can't beat them.
What?
I have to go back now.
Old Man Asher takes off.
What? You're all talk, oldie.
Caught off guard, Captain Drake seizes an opportunity to kick Master QUINN to the ground. He calls the soldiers back.
Leave him. We've got what we want.
Everyone encircles Master QUINN. Interior, Ruckus House, same. CASSEY is caught in the middle of the brawl. Seeing body after body on the floor, he scurries to the side of the room. Only farmers are left, fighting each other. Twig and Brack notice it too.
Hey, everybody shut up.
No one listens. Twig nods to Brack, who bellows.
Stop now!
The whole group stops, in silence. Then celebrates.
All right. Post-brawl head count.
The room goes quiet.
Post-brawl head count. Master QUINN? Post-brawl head count. Master QUINN.
Exterior, Ruckus House, moments later. Everyone explodes out the front doors, just as Old Man Asher reaches them.
Oh, they've got her. They've got her.
Far away in the darkness, the caravan can be seen, decorated with torches, riding off into the distance.
And they've got...
Old Man Asher looks at CASSEY.
Let's drink the rest of the beer.
Some of the farmers cheer.
No! Everybody shut up! We need to get Master Quinn back now!
No, shut up, Cassie.
CASSEY looks defeated. Twig approaches CASSEY.
I'm sorry, Cassie. He's right. We need to drink the rest of the beer. Then we get Master Quinn.
Everyone yells, especially Brack, who jostles his body back and forth, whipping around the saws, one of them clanking against the side of Cassie's helmet.
Oh, Brack. Careful, buddy.
Interior, Cassie's dilapidated shack. Later. CASSEY enters a small room with a dirt floor and a straw bed. He collapses onto the bed, exhausted to the point of near death.
Oh. Ow. Ow.
Cassie!
CASSEY nearly falls out of bed. He lands on his feet and runs forward, smacking into the wall and stumbling back. Old Man Asher chuckles and lights a candle to give the room soft amber illumination.
You a darn fool, but you a good one.
Oh. You know, I kind of figured this place would go up in smoke. How can the farmers fight like that?
They're scallywag scoundrels, but lovable dopes. You did well today, but we're in a grave situation that may put us in the grave.
How drunk are you, Old Man Ash?
For dirt's sake, Cassie, you're 12 or 15 or whatever you are. Just call me Asher.
Okay.
Come on, Cassie.
Now?
No, tomorrow. Yes, now.
Do you know where she is?
What? Do you want a briefing? You want a quilled letter with a wax stamp invitation?
Old Man Asher drops the candle, and the shanty immediately ignites.
Oops.
What? You did that on purpose!
I said oops, Cassie. And I'm old, and I'm drunk. Lower your expectations.
You burned my house down!
You call this a house?
Exterior, Cassie's dilapidated shack, moments later. CASSEY and Old Man Asher stumble out as the shack goes up in smoke and flames, and they run right into a mob of farmers holding torches.
I already did it. I already did it.
CASSEY turns to Old Man Asher in a look of shock. You did do this on purpose.
Come on, we're headed to get Master Quinn, and you're going to be led by Cassie. That's right. Wait, what? No, you know where he is, don't you, old man? Yeah, but you're putting him in charge.
Yeah, as a meat shield.
No. Twig, Brack, Cassie, me. That's the team. Final answer, no contest.
Farmer number 2 raises his torch as a weapon.
Yeah, pretty weak team if you ask me. You'll never get Quinn back.
Hurt me and for sure it'll never happen.
But I wanted to torch them all on fire.
Farmer number 2 relents and falls back into the crowd.
What's going on?
You're watching mob mentality collapse in on itself in real time. Consider that our first real teachable moment. Now, come on.
Interior Ruckus House, minutes later. Weapons are once more piled across tables, turning the Ruckus House into a battle station.
I need a shovel that can fire an arrow. Whittle this down so it can impale a man through the eye. Actually, no. Make it a mallet. I want him to see what we do to his friends, but I want to bash his teeth out so he can't vocalize his pain.
With every phrase, the farmer grows more and more concerned.
Actually, no. Just give me a big mallet. I want him to be able to shout at me, so I'll just bash his knees so he can't chase me.
You're a monster.
Thank you.
Cut 2, Brack wrapping spiked wire onto a club.
That should do it.
Brack breathes in deeply, then throws the club down onto a table in front of him, cracking the table right in half. Other farmers jump in fear.
You think we can wrap my whole body in this stuff?
Cut to CASSEY, in shock and awe, inspecting the weaponry.
I want something that won't break when I'm using it, you know? That'd be a real oopsie.
The farmers around him grimace.
Or, you know, maybe I could light something on fire and throw it, and then just run away, right?
The farmers roll their eyes. CASSEY tries to pick up a sheathed sword attached to an iron shovel. He can hardly lift it. He stops and picks up a small pair of knuckles with tiny spikes coming out of them. CASSEY doesn't look too sure. Cut to Old Man Asher smoking profusely.
Just give me a flask to number the pain.
CASSEY walks up.
Numb the pain of what?
Cut to exterior dirt road, later. CASSEY's frail body bounces up and down on the back of a horse, without a saddle.
Grip your body to the steed, Cassie. Your grandchildren are going to disappear.
The four ride off into the night. Exterior, dirt road, later. Twig makes his best pitch to Old Man Asher.
Now, of course you came to us, Asher. Thought it would take you less time, knowing our record as being the deadliest assassins in the game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, come on. We're all from the same kingdom. Nonetheless, we are a valiant team of two from the side of the road who will now guide you from beginning to end of this onslaught. And...
Twig, I don't need a sales pitch. And as far as you're concerned, which I'm not, let's be clear. I'm the one from the side of the road who is calling you to action, to where you need to go. I don't want to have to say this again.
Ah, well, yes, of course. Just letting you know we're on your side.
Really? Thank goodness.
If you let him talk now, he'll keep mouth shut when we get there.
Exterior, Royal Camp outskirts, later. The four horsemen arrive, come to a stop at the top of a steep hill, dirty crumbling down the crevices of imminent death, overlooking a vast royal camp, illuminated by hundreds of torches. Many different tents come together to form a swarm akin to a small metropolis, with different royal guards or all levels meandering through the makeshift streets.
Glory be to dirt! How many riches you think they got in there?
Quinn's the only thing valuable that they've got.
Old Man Asher turns to CASSEY and catches his gaze, pulling him away from being completely enamored with the scale of the camp. They exchange a knowing look.
It'll take hours to kill them all. I'm gonna have to get my needle sharpened. You think they've got a gristle?
Of course they do, Brack. It's a camp of the king. What kind of question is that?
Twig and Brack's rambling fades into the background as Old Man Asher and CASSEY share a moment.
That place is huge.
You ain't know the least of it. Today you go from Cassie the boy to Cassie the man.
What about you?
I can't afford to go any higher. I've peaked. You, though, after today, you and I will be the same.
Twig and Brack's bickering comes back in.
Which is why you should have brought the crossbow.
This'll do. Look.
Brack smacks Twig in the back of his cowhide jacket, and the spikes of the club get stuck.
Ouch!
Twig flinches and kicks his horse hard. The horse screeches and takes off, pulling Brack and Brack's horse along for the ride. They barrel down the steep incline, their bodies getting smaller and smaller as they reach the first line of royal guards posted below.
Why did you ask them to come with?
Old Man Asher's gaze is fixed on Twig and Brack below. Insert, the royal guards see the horses and scurry off to chase them. Brack's spiked club still caught in Twig's jacket. The royal guards leave the fray, leaving the path to the camp wide open.
You can't pay for diversions that good.
Old Man Asher lightly kicks his horse and trots off.
Come on, follow me.
CASSEY follows and starts bouncing on his horse.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Moments later, outside the farmland, they stare off into the distance. Down in a valley below, they see a massive caravan, torches blazing and splintering fire sparks into the wind. The caravan stretches on forever. Act 4. Exterior Royal Camp outskirts. Minutes later. Insert. Twig's mallet comes down hard on a royal guard's helmet. Insert. Then the mallet swings through the knees of another royal guard. It's revealed that Twig is swinging his mallet as Brack swings him, still stuck to the club spikes.
Last one!
Brack grunts and swings Twig, the mallet bashing through the guard's helmet. Guards' bodies litter the ground. Old Man Asher and CASSEY pull up to the carnage.
Dirt it!
Twig wrestles out of his jacket and falls to the ground. He gets to his feet, turns around, and snatches the spiked club from Brack.
Give me this.
Twig detaches his jacket.
Good work, boys.
Old Man Asher dismounts, grabbing CASSEY by the leg and pulling him down.
Ouch!
Quiet. We proceed by foot. If we're all alive when we get back, you're very lucky.
What? Asher?
Nah, I'm kidding. If they bash our brains out, the horses will be repurposed and spared.
Oh.
Hey, I know. Let's take the guard armor off these deadsies, put them on us, and trot in like we're supposed to be there.
No, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Old Man Asher walks into the camp. CASSEY and Twig follow, Twig rolling his eyes.
I'll show him. This is a great idea.
Brack picks up one of the fallen guard's helmets, sliding it off the head. Blood swims out.
Oh. Never mind.
Cut to exterior royal camp, inside grounds, moments later. The group makes their way around the perimeter, diving from patch of darkness to patch of darkness, speaking in hushed whispers.
Do you know where Quinn is?
That's still Master Quinn to you.
So, yes?
No, don't ask stupid questions. It's a miracle I knew where this place was.
Yeah. Why did you know where this place was?
Don't ask stupid questions.
A few moments pass. Old Man Asher looks over his shoulder, seeing that all three are still quite inquisitive.
All right, fine. This place has been here forever, an old burial ground. Kingdom's got a bunch of them. Goes down forever. Tunnels, old graves for people, even royals who the king decided shouldn't live anymore. Now they're so full of rescues they're used for...
Nearby, 2 camp guards confront a small boy. Teens, dark complexion, hooded robes.
Oi, what you doing there?
I got some pairs of butters for the Viceroy's camp.
Viceroys? They's all asleep over on that side. What you doing on this side?
You better not be stealing that butter.
I's be over here 'cause the frozens be melting on the other side.
You know what I think? I think he be stealing.
I think he'd been stealing too.
I's promise I not.
They's got punishments for that, you know.
No,
Old Man Asher turns to Cassie.
Turn away.
What?
Turn away now.
You know what I think? If his family's okay with him being this far across camp this late, they ain't miss him much.
Old Man Asher puts his hand over Cassie's eyes. Camp guard number 2 unsheaths his sword and slashes the boy across the face and throat. Cassie peeks through Old Man Asher's fingers and sees it all.
From the blackest dirt on earth.
Brack moves to lurch forward, but Twig pulls him back.
Brack, no.
Brack calms down.
Now why'd you go and do that?
What?
Now we got a royal mess. I was thinking a hand. Maybe a foot.
Camp guard number 2 laughs with devilish joy.
Well, he died smiling, eh?
The guards laugh and walk off. Cassie turns to Old Man Asher. He grips his spiked knuckles with anger.
Can we start with them?
No, they'll get away with that.
Why?
Because if we attacked now, we'd be swarmed by the rest of them. It's not worth it. You kill a dragon by cutting off its head.
Twig sees a small rope hanging from a series of posts, holding up a row of tents.
I got an idea. How's your back, old man?
Cut 2. Exterior royal camp. Tent rows. Minutes later. Cassie grips the rope tight as he pulls himself up onto the perimeter of the tent scaffolds. The robust perimeter, made of wood and wrapped leather, gives them the perfect balancing act to navigate across the camp, jumping from ledge to ledge. Brack carries Twig on his shoulders and jumps from section to section easily. Cassie looks at Old Man Asher and then back to Brack and Twig.
Don't think about it.
As they move along the tent perimeter, tiny slits in the tent covers give them glimpses of what's inside. Cassie watches as maidens in underwear frolic about, old men in baths heated by fire, rows of baked breads, carved meat, and delicacies.
I bet they got some real good jewels in there.
They hop to the next section.
Don't you think Master Quinn be in some kind of prison or tied up or something?
Yes, obviously. Why don't you go mill around on the ground asking where the prison is? We'll pick up the sack of your body parts on the way out.
All right, I'll shut up.
So we can't afford to keep them?
A slit in one of the tent folds gives a glimpse of a man wrapped in purple and black clothes, a kingdom viceroy, male, 50s, thin, bald, bushy eyebrows, fiddles at parchment with an enormous white quill dripping in ink. The group looks in. Interior, Viceroy's tent, continuous. The Viceroy exchanges verbal jousts with his Consligliere, female, 40s, blonde bushy hair, black cloaks.
Not if we're going to continue feeding them all.
Half-dozen slaves disappear per day around here.
They don't disappear, Viceroy.
They become gruel for the cattle, then. You want me to speak in realities?
We're eating our resources too fast. Captains and kings won't pay for our burn rate.
Very well. Can we off our elderly?
You're the only one here of that age.
Then no.
Strike down the young instead.
The Viceroy considers.
No. Look at the proxy wars of the yesteryears. Turned children to orphans and orphans into amputees, and all they do is grow up to want to kill you no matter how much milk, cheese, and bread you let suckle down their gullets.
Insert. Out on the perimeter, Cassie grits his teeth.
I'm ready to kill everyone here.
Hush, you'd just be doing the king a favor. Stop it.
Please, stop talking. You know what you could do? Send more captains and cohorts on reconnaissance missions. About half of today's boys came back.
I beg your pardon?
Died. Blood on the leaves. Bunch of farmers turned their skin and bones into fertilizer.
For dirt's sake.
'Tis the point.
Not. Who is the captain? Take me to him now.
Insert. The group gets excited.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Cut to exterior royal camp tent rows, moments later. The viceroy exits his tent, led by the Consligliere. The group pokes their heads out up above on the tent perimeter. Cut to moments later. The group hops from platform to platform, trying to keep up. Moments later, the group arrives at the edge of the perimeter and watch carefully as the viceroy and Consligliere enter a different, much larger tent.
Let's go. Around back.
CASSEY hops along, leading the way. Old Man Asher smirks at his sense of purpose. Moments later, the group huddles around a small slit in the back and look on as the viceroy storms into Captain Drake's quarters, followed by the much less enthusiastic Consligliere. Metal shrieks as a sword is pulled from its sheath. Captain Drake holds the blade forward, in the dark, his hand trembling, and the blade wavering.
You all right, sir?
Captain Drake shakes his paranoia and relents.
Huh? Viceroy, what pleasure do I have?
No pleasure is to be had. I am in fury.
Captain Drake looks at the Consligliere.
The viceroy did not take your death toll well, sir. Surely there's a reason, I assume.
My apologies, good sir. I feel touched by the grace of goodness that I still have a closed throat myself.
Yes, so you can lap the legs of the lewds?
The Consligliere cringes.
Forgive me, sir,
Explain your egregious handlement.
Well, it was but nothing, sir. You know these know-nothing farmers, savages who sodomize each other for sport. We were doing routine checks, nothing more. And before I knew it, they were attacking the horses and the carriages, so I dispatched them in, but they follow no order. Attack, trade turns, attack again, savages just attack.
What were you doing out so far? I just need a reason.
We were looking for spoils, unpaid to the king for grazing lands near his lands, sir. But these farmers had nothing, just hatred for his highness and spear-shaped shovels, nothing more, nothing of note to report at all.
The Consligliere furrows her brow, knowing something is wrong. Insert, Twig rolls his eyes.
If you'd brought a bow, like I said, we could off him right now.
Brack raises his arm to throw the club through the slit, but Twig stops him.
No.
The viceroy swivels his head.
Very well. You will be paid for your lost men. Not all is lost. You have trimmed our daily expenditures. Send 5 cohorts to incinerate their farm tomorrow. Whatever is lost then will only lessen our spend.
The viceroy turns to leave. The Consligliere gives Captain Drake an odd look, and then exits.
Phew.
Captain Drake tries to relax, but he's interrupted by a jailer who bursts in.
Sir,
don't you know how to flap?
Some of the other villages have been yielding fruit.
What?
The whims of God, sir, for the experiment on the men, women, and children of the jails.
Okay, jailer, protocol. Character first, then intrigue, then reprieve.
Expasa Ishna, sir, and I mean to say other caravans, found some of the ancient.
No, don't tell a soul. I had my backside handed to me today. You go try and whip the jailed with whatever you have, and don't tell a soul otherwise until tomorrow once I've decided whose work I'm going to take credit for.
The jailer leaves.
Miserable, sleepless camping.
Captain Drake places his sword, still unsheathed, by his bedside. He blows the candles next to his bed and curls up under the covers. Insert. The group looks at each other. Time to strike. Interior Captain Drake's tent, minutes later. Captain Drake is already fast asleep. The outlines of Twig's tiny body crawl around behind Captain Drake's bed. He climbs up onto the silk covers and nestles up right next to Captain Drake, perching in the crook of his arm. In his sleep, Captain Drake curls Twig slightly.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, you're right. Enough's enough.
Captain Drake opens his eyes and catches gaze contact with Twig. His eyelids roll up tight.
Hi.
Captain Drake gasps and turns his head to the left, only to be met by the faces of the rest of the group. Brack raises his spike bat. Insert, outside the tent, very faint outlines can be seen scuffling as the group subdues Captain Drake. Cut 2. Exterior Royal Camp tent rows, minutes later. Captain Drake, back in full regalia, is marched forth by a group of people dressed in tarnished guard gear. Captain Drake struggles to hold the spike bat.
Told you this was a great idea.
I'm now the eldest defender of the king.
I assure you, you will swallow your tongues by the end of this. Best stop speaking now.
CASSEY gives Captain Drake a sharp jab with his spiked knuckles.
Keep walking.
Old Man Asher smirks again. Exterior prisoner's den, minutes later. The group arrives at the entrance to the prisoner's den. Captain Drake addresses the 2 camp guards standing out front.
Hello. Might we enter? 'Tis a bit late, eh? Yes, I awoke with a hankering to yell at infidels, and I dare not dream until I have unleashed my verbal lashings. And perhaps a few real ones.
A tense moment builds, and then...
All right, have fun.
The guards part ways, and the group enters. Interior prisoner's den, moments later. Insert, Captain Drake's body, bound and gagged, plops onto the ground.
Okay, let's find Master Quinn. She can't be that...
The group stares, eyes wide, as Master Quinn sits, collapsed on the floor, completely exasperated and beaten badly.
far from death.
Kindly, Captain. Can you please tell me why you...
Everyone turns around. The guard sees Captain Drake on the ground and the rest of the group, half out of the guard gear. Old Man Asher peers behind the guards and sees the jailer meddling around and pestering the prisoners. Bash! Brack puts a crater in his head with the spike bat, knocking his body with a fury. Exterior prisoner's den, same. The guard's body spills onto the ground, and crimson blood runs free like a jailbreak. The other guard at the gate sees this and runs off for help. Old Man Asher, CASSEY, Brack, and Twig run out and see the guard hightailing as fast as he can.
You hit hard.
That's what I do.
The jailer steps forward and draws a mace, rusted and tarnished, from a pile of weapons laying on the ground. He steps forward, raising the mace, ready to strike. Warning bells start to ring.
We're gonna get hit hard. Get back in there and be a hero.
CASSEY nods.
Right.
CASSEY steps forward, but Twig and Brack are already hard at work. They disable the jailer and throw him in the corner, coughing up blood the whole way. Interior prisoner's den, same. CASSEY rushes over to Master Quinn, who looks badly beaten, bloodied and bruised. Other prisoners, in much better shape, look on in horror. I don't want to be that person.
Okay, let's get you out of here.
Where were you earlier when I was tucked?
We came here to save you, and we're leaving, all right?
Uh-huh. In how many pieces?
Listen, you were the one who got caught. For what? I am Cassius of Doran, the one that guy pointed out, and I will not be...
You're Cassius?
A moment passes. CASSEY turns and sees another disheveled prisoner, Tristan.
Yes?
Oh, fun.
CASSEY looks at Master Quinn, confused.
You guys get to know each other in here?
I know your brother.
Without a moment's hesitation, CASSEY rushes over and starts untying Tristan.
Wait, what's happening?
1 second.
No. CASSEY, you get over here right now, or...
Insert. Tristan's leg is set free, and he flexes his knee joint for the first time in a long, long time.
Oh, that's the stuff.
CASSEY takes the sharp spikes attached to his knuckles and rips the rest of the ropes, causing Tristan to fall to the ground.
Ouch! No bed of roses.
Insert. The jailer sees Tristan being freed and shakes with anger, screaming with all his might into the gag at his mouth.
Okay, Master Quinn?
Hey, kid. Cassey, you want to untie that pig over there?
Insert. A pig, soiled in its own filth and near death, is literally hogtied.
I told him he could speak and hear their words, so they tied him up like a prisoner.
Cassie's heart is touched, and he rushes over to the pig.
Are you kidding me, Cassie?
Be right there.
The clamoring and clashing of blades and brawn outside grows louder.
Cassie, we're running out of time.
Insert. Outside the prisoner's den, Brack starts to windmill with his bat, knocking an entire wave of guards back.
Maybe not.
Cassie frees the pig, which shakes wildly, joining Tristan.
Come on, go help.
Tristan sees the jailer and lurches forward. He grabs at the jailer's mace.
What the...
Old Man Asher grabs Tristan by the collar and pulls him back, leading him and the pig out of the cave.
We don't have time for a Kingdom Itarian award.
Cassie finishes untying Master Quinn.
There we go.
The moment her arms are untied, she smacks Cassie.
Sorry, I've been tortured all night.
It's okay. It's okay.
Insert. Outside, more waves of guards rush towards Twig, Brack, Tristan, the pig, and Old Man Asher.
Now, how to get out of here?
They both look behind them at all the other prisoners. Cut to exterior royal camp tent rows, minutes later. All of the prisoners, now freed, rip through the camp like a surge of energy, bellowing and fighting back against the guards, who now stand no chance. In the middle of the cluster is the new group.
Would have been pretty selfish to leave them all, huh?
No one untied Captain Drake by accident, right?
Cut to exterior royal camp outskirts, minutes later. The group arrives back at the entrance and find their horses patiently waiting, sequestered to the side. Master Quinn screams at the camp, watching as the prisoners dash into a rage of ransacking and brutality. They reach the horses.
See? Told you. Now double up.
Huh?
You're riding with your new friends.
Huh?
Cassie leaps onto his horse like a badass and extends his hand out to Tristan, who hoists the pig on his back.
Good. The ride back won't be so...
Cut to exterior dirt road, minutes later. The group rides up the road away from the camp, faster than ever. Cassie's body tumbles around and he struggles to hold on. Cut to exterior dirt road, dawn. The group rides at an even pace.
When we get back, we mobilize and return to the camp.
Really?
Praise to that, Master Quinn. Gotta ransack those jewels.
Yep, and send a message.
But you think now is the right time to...
Later, Asher, later.
There.
The group stops. Tristan wearily points off in a different direction.
There, that way.
What?
Things better not to say.
What's over there?
Need to go. Now, before it's too late.
Cassie turns to Master Quinn, who shrugs.
Look, Cassie, it's nice you have a friend and all, but I'm going home. The spoils, they're mighty.
Ain't that right, Brack?
A moment passes.
Please.
Old Man Asher looks at Cassie.
Let the boy do what he wants.
And what happens when the vagabond kills him in the woods for food and feeds his feeble meat to the pig?
Quinn, today is the day Cassius, son of Doran, saved your life. He has grown 10 times his size in his heart. If he wants to go...
I want to go.
Right. Let him go.
So be it. Try to return safe, Cassius. And soon.
Master Quinn turns her horse and trots away. Twig and Brack follow. Old Man Asher winks at Cassie and then turns to follow the rest, leaving Cassie in charge of his own life, free to do as he pleases, for the first time.
All right. What's your name?
Tristan.
Okay, Sir Tristan. Where to?
Tristan points off into the woods.
That way.
Act 5. Exterior, woods, day. Montage, various. A. Cassie, Tristan, and the pig ride through the woods. Cassie is elated to be on an adventure.
That way.
B. Cassie watches with caution as the horse has to leap over water and rocks.
That way.
C. Cassie can barely hold on as the horse slides down a steep hill filled with rocks.
That way.
D. Cassie is in shock as they enter a plain town. People looking feeble and worn down amble through the streets.
That way.
E. Cassie, in dismay, leads the horse into a bathhouse.
That way.
F. Cassie, arms crossed, stands and watches Tristan collapse into a hot bath, the pig jumping in after him. Interior bathhouse continuous. Tristan surfaces and subdues, relaxed by the hot water. He rubs the pig's back.
There you go, buddy. We made it.
A bathhouse maiden steps inside the room. She looks sick as can be.
Can you bring a few more cloths? My friend here is filthy. You don't want to know what he's had to do to stay alive.
The bathhouse maiden grimaces and leaves.
This is my secret little spot. Always has been. Ever since your brother took me here years ago.
CASSEY fumes.
Leaving me out. I guess I should expect that.
Don't be bitter. Enjoy having a good recoup from a prison stay.
Look, I saved your life.
Indeed. What caused all that squabbling anyway?
Something I could wrap around my body like a huge chain. Master Quinn said...
Tristan tightens up.
Okay, that's nonsense to me. Stop babbling about...
Well, the kingdom wanted them. And there are supposedly more.
The door opens. The bathhouse maiden stumbles in, carrying the cloths.
Whoa, those heavy?
The bathhouse maiden wobbles and collapses. The pig squeals and runs around the room. CASSEY runs to her aid.
Miss? Excuse me?
Tristan splashes wildly.
Hey, stop! Stop! Don't touch her. She could...
CASSEY turns her body over, only to see lifeless eyes. Tristan notices a tonal shift in CASSEY and stops mid-sentence. A moment passes. Tristan looks over his side of the bath and sees her skin is pale and purple. His eyes go wide. The pig moves to settle his hooves on the ground, but Tristan grabs him and holds him before he can touch a single limb to the surface. Insert. Tristan is overcome with pain, an image in his mind of a searing white light fading from two dead eyes. The pig squeals in fear. Tristan begins to hyperventilate.
What's wrong?
She's festered with disease. My plan to eat meat and drink beer has changed.
Cut 2. Exterior town area, minutes later. CASSEY, Tristan, and the pig watch as townspeople wobble and collapse before them, their skin pale and purple. Tristan stumbles around, his mind flashing with piercing imagery, visuals of grisly death.
These people are doomed.
Bodies fall, their souls leaping out of them. Tristan picks up his pace, CASSEY running to keep up.
Where are you going? These people need our help.
Tristan stops abruptly. He turns around and in fear says,
No, they don't.
CASSEY is taken aback, but feels the gravity of Tristan's tormented soul and follows.
Why would they risk the tongue of the gods in the open? Bastards!
CASSEY catches up.
What?
We have to go. They're not sick.
They're not?
They're cursed.
CASSEY looks with confusion. Cut 2. Exterior dirt road, dusk. The three bound up the road on horseback.
I know a place. On a mountain near Greendale Kingdom. We can hide there.
No! We can't just abandon everyone.
The farm will be fine.
They reach a plateau overlooking the farmland in the distance, and the horse reels in fear. The entire farm is scorched. Up in flames, orange war raging and blowing black smoke into the sky. Tears come to CASSEY's eyes. He dismounts and walks to the plateau's edge.
What?
This is what happens when you dig too deep into the past.
You be quiet.
Cassius, listen. Down there will only bring you sorrow and anger. You should have left those artifacts where they were.
It's the Royal Guards. They beat us back. I'm not stupid.
No, you're not.
Tristan dismounts and joins CASSEY at his side.
You're naive. They're looking for me. Captain Drake wants me. I'm not lying to you. Well, I lied to you. I didn't take us there to have a bath. I was hiding us, hiding you from them.
Tristan puts his hand on CASSEY's shoulder, then turns to the pig, and back to CASSEY.
I knew your brother.
CASSEY takes a step away.
Knew?
There's a reason I was in that prison.
You don't say. And now there's a reason you're not.
Exterior QUINN Farms, outskirts, minutes later. CASSEY walks through the outskirts with Tristan, the pig, and the horse in tow. CASSEY sees the rest of the group. At first he's elated, but puts things together and hangs his head as he walks up to them.
How was your adventure?
Master Quinn and Old Man Asher seem deep in thought and look towards the flames.
We have pulled the thread of sabotage from the perennial coattails of power.
They beat us home. Sorry.
Other surviving farmers across the fields carry as many tools as they can to safety.
Soldiers are doing what they think they have to. Nothing from the ancient world is worth digging up.
A moment passes. CASSEY looks at Tristan with confusion and an undercurrent of wonder. Master Quinn and Old Man Asher don't say anything. Twig isn't impressed.
All that's a bunch of bull dung.
So, what will you do now, Cassius, son of Doran?
We do this to Greendale, the whole kingdom. Now where's my brother?
As the city burns, Cassie watches the auburn and ash covering the fields and edifices turn to black, witnessing the rest of his past turn to forgotten embers. With no choice but to turn to the future, he turns away to continue his adventure, incensed and inspired to seek truth and destiny. Credits. Post-credits CTA Episode 2. Exterior deep woods, late night. Luminous moonlight radiates, rippling through the trees and silhouetting every shape and jagged edge. In a rush, 2 7-foot figures with ethereal breath and ominous glow flowing from their lungs navigate between the trunks and limbs. Insert. Arrows fly. The figures avert demise and change direction. They reach an impasse of clustered rocks and fallen trunks and stop. The light of the moon catches an array of silver blades, which emerge from the darkness and encircle the figures. The moment holds. Insert. A large muscular warrior jumps down from the trees upon where the ethereal figures stand. The ethereal figures dive out of the way as the swords blitz. As the battle wages, the warriors are caught in the moonlight, wearing cloths over their mouths. Insert. One of the warriors loses his cloth and panics. He reaches down to pick it up, holding his hand over his mouth and nose. The 2 figures leap over the warrior's back and escape into the depths of the woods. The head of the warriors hands the cloth back to the panicking warrior. He then yells,
Regroup, catch them now.
The warriors run off towards the ethereal figures, something in the chase worth more than fighting for their lives. A small boy watches the mayhem from the shadows of the treetop branches. As the screams and cries of the warriors swell in fervor, the boy pulls away, disappearing out of sight as a strong gust of wind shakes the entire tree.